Я знал, что придете.
Значит, вину свою понимаешь.
Sergei Loznitsa's existential war movie tramps through Nazi-occupied Belarus in the company of two partisans and a four-square railroad worker who may just have collaborated with the enemy. The railwayman protests his innocence, but the partisans want revenge. All three are about to become lost in a thicket of compromise, confusion and impending violence.
Ладно, копай. Там видно будет.
Henry, whoever would have thought that collaborating with the Nazis would lead to so many problems?
Who'd have thunk it, Zan? And also, yeah, it looks great as well, which is my main positive point about this film. I thought it looked beautiful. In a similar way to that film Laura that came out, a similar subject matter as well, kind of immediately after the Second World War.
Well, the primeval forest, but then as the site of kind of great human tragedy and brutality.
Beauty as well in its own way in that tragic circumstance. It is strange watching this. I watched this almost straight away after watching Bernie. So you go from the kind of sunny, gospel-tinged environs of Texas to this, which is really dank and bleak and a difficult watch in many ways, also a much slower watch. And there was a small part of me that rather guiltily thought I'd love it if Jack Black just waded in and sang some sort of aria to keep them happy. I don't know. It's fantastically well made. It looks beautiful, but it's a little too heavy-handed and serious for my taste, I think.
It's a big, heavy dreadnought of a picture, isn't it, this one?
Yeah, there's a lot of shots of the back of men's heads as they're walking along for quite long periods.
Fantastic opening, though, with the tracking
it
shot
is.
of the men about to be hung going through the village square, which is a phenomenal piece that leads you to kind of expect more directorial flourishes like that, and then it gets very
incredibly stylish, and you think, oh, we're going to get lots of this, and there's going to be moments of drama, but it's going to be a really skillful piece of filmmaking in its way as well. And it is, but nothing ever really matches up to that incredible opening scene, I don't think.
For me, it didn't match up to his earlier film. It's directed by a Ukrainian director called Sergei Loznitsa, who was at Cannes a couple of years ago with a film called My Joy, which is about basically a long-distance lorry driver's kind of odyssey, this kind of Homeric odyssey through the former Soviet Union, where it's all kind of falling apart and it's just kind of sinking into lawlessness. And it's one of those great Cannes films that I went along, it was like a late-night screening of it, I knew nothing about it, and came out absolutely sort of galvanised by it, and so really wanted to see this. It doesn't quite add up. I like that it was about the sort of shadow history of the Second World War. We're so used to seeing, you know, the D-Day extravaganzas, and this is about the human cost of collaboration and the sense of a culture that's utterly compromised and corrupted by what it's gone through, that there's really no way out at all. And I thought that its claustrophobic nature, although that makes it kind of painful to watch, does get that across brilliantly well. Yeah, and also that feeling that in the very immediate days after war, these kind of allegiances are shifting very, very quickly between sides, and you don't know if your friends are still your friends or if enemies are going to suddenly take you in and look after you. And again, Laura did that very well as well. And there is an inherent drama in that idea that you can't trust anybody, you're on your own, and perhaps in a more dangerous situation than being in war itself.
I think with Laura, you know, Laura was a film that was easy to criticise for its sort of sun-dappled coming-of-age love bits.
A slight sort of magic realism to it, whereas this doesn't have any of that.
Exactly. It could do, you know, Laura was a bit too much like that. This is a little bit too, you know, you're down in the twigs and it's quite bleak. So your ideal World War II movie would be like a marriage of Laura and In the Fog? I'd really love to see that. With Jack Black playing Bernie in the middle. Sold.
Да ведь ты выдал тех троих.
Я никого не выдавал.
А почему тебя не повесили?